All right, so yesterday we talked about factoring completely given a factor, and we talked about if you divide by a factor, you get no remainder, and we talked about how if you multiply two factors together, you end back up where you started, right? So if I wanted to factor this completely, tell me what my first step is.
You got to get all the coefficients out. No, you got to do -9.
Okay, so, but what are you doing?
Synthetic.
Synthetic division, right? We're dividing. So I do the -9. Get all the coefficients out. Include any placeholders you need. So give them to me. What are the coefficients there?
1, 2,
One,
-51.
2, -51.
All right. Drop it. Multiply it. Add it. Multiply it. Add it. 12. Multiply it. Right now, yeah. Okay. And so now I need to interpret that. So interpret that. What does that mean?
X squared.
X squared negative 7x positive 12. And that, with the x plus 9 that we started with, is another way to write our function. And then we looked at what was in parentheses, and what did we do with that? We put it in the box. You're absolutely right. We factored it. Put it in the box. So same signs. It multiplies to 12, but it adds to 7. What are the two numbers?
4 and 3.
4 and 3. What's the GCF here? X. Right here.
3.
3. And here. And here.
4.
Remember, they're both minus signs. So factored, I have x minus 3, x minus 4, and now it is factored completely. Now, I want you to think about something with me for a minute, because this is where we're going to start tacking on the new stuff today. If I asked you to find the zeros, what would you do?
Find the 0.
How? What are the zeros? Split them up how, Diamond?
Take x plus 9 equals 0, x minus 3 equals 0, and x minus 4.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's easy.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Right? These are the zeros. Not quite. Oh, Taylor. Didn't you feed that baby? So zeros are when we set the equation equal to 0 and then we solve each one. Now I want you to notice something. Because this is the connection here, the factor and remainder theorems. If this is a factor, look at the relationship with the 0. It's just the opposite sign, right? So here's the theorem. If x plus, let's say x plus 3 is a factor, then negative 3 is a 0.
Oh, wait, what?
Look back at what we just did. Do you agree that all 3 of these are factors?
Yeah.
So look at the relationship. The 0 is just the opposite sign of the factor. Okay, that's the whole theorem. That's the whole theorem, is that if you have a factor, you also have a 0.
What are you trying to find as factor? So I'll do it.
We always go back to this original that we started with. Okay? So now what we're going to do, and here's where you have to keep straight what you have to do when. Now I'm going to give you a function. So this is the new stuff. Let's say I want one that's going to work out good. X to the third plus 2x squared minus 9x minus 18. But now I'm going to tell you x equals negative 2 is a 0.
Oh.
So now I'm not giving you a factor, I'm giving you a 0. But by giving you a 0, I really am giving you a factor, right?
X is 2.
So what's the factor here? x plus 2, right? That's the actual factor if I'm giving you a 0. So the directions on your homework are going to say, given the function and a 0, find all the other zeros.
So let me get it straight. I do that right there, and then I just do this upside down.
Then all the steps are exactly the same. The only difference is the very last step, I'm going to set everybody to 0 and solve.
Alright, well, here's the other thing. Hey, here's the other thing I got a question on. If I'm doing a synthetic division, and I just changed it from -2 to +2, ain't I'm going to change it back to -2?
Yep. So here's the thing. When you're given a factor, you divide by the opposite sign. When you're given a 0, you divide by the same sign.
You say that?
Like what you just said. Yes, you're going to change it back to -2 here. Okay? So really what you can think is when you're given a 0, then you divide by the same sign. When you're given a factor like before, you have to flip the sign.
So basically, it's just going to say we're doing a 0 and we have to divide by the same sign.
Yep.
So only 0 is the sign.
Yes. Yes.
I need to find myself.
Okay, so well, let's work through it. So -2 is what I put on the outside.
So there's 1,
-2 and -2. I want you to see where I'm getting it. Okay? So now give me the coefficients.
1, 2, 9, 8,
Okay?
drop the 1,
Drop it.
-2,
Multiply.
0,
Add.
0,
Multiply.
-0,
Add.
18, 0.
All steps the same. Interpret the answer.
So that'd be
X squared plus 0x. I'm going to leave that off. -9.
Wait, what are you doing?
I'm interpreting this. Remember, this is remainder constant x squared.
Two. Why are you at?
2x minus 9x plus 9.
Close.
That's mine. No, that's mine.
You got me confused now.
Why are you confused?
X minus 3x
Hey,
plus
you
2.
just didn't write it under.
I guess.
Do you see now?
didn't write it under.
Yeah, but it's a 0, you don't like it.
Yeah, I didn't write. It's really x squared plus 0x minus 9.
Yeah, I do. But you just don't like it.
But then I just take everything and make it.
X plus.
Now remember that x plus 2 that was in the front, right? Because we take this and we make it into a factor. And so we want to factor all the way. And Brady recognized it right off as a difference of 2 squares. Remember?
I thought it had to be the box first.
Well, this one doesn't need the box because it's a pattern. Remember that pattern? If they're both perfect squares,
It'll be X.
I can do x minus 3, x plus 3. So what are the zeros? Because that's my extra step here is what are the zeros?
0, -2, right?
-2, what else?
-3, -2. That's the answer.
That's the answer.
That's all I gotta do.
So the only additional step I want you to see, the difference from yesterday is what we start with is what we're dividing by, and then we're setting each piece to 0.
Alright, let's go.
You don't need another example?
No. It's pretty common.
Let's do one more. One more. Uno mas. Uno mas. Let's do x to the third plus 8x squared plus 5x minus 14. Let's use the same 0. Let's say x equals -2 is a 0. Find the other zeros. Yeah. Oh, I thought somebody said Miss Finley. What do I do first?
You get the, you gotta find a factor.
What goes on the outside?
-2.
-2.
So the factor is plus 2.
But the factor is plus 2. You're absolutely right. So what are the coefficients here?
1, 8, 5, negative
Good job. Drop it.
2. Yes.
Multiply it.
Negative 2,
Add it. Multiply it.
negative 7, negative 6. Oh, positive. Now we get
All right, so interpret it.
1x
Squared.
plus 6x minus 7.
I still got that. Remember, we changed the sign on that first one. All right, what do I do with the parentheses?
You gotta do x squared in the top left corner. Or you gotta do
You got to put it in the box, right?
yeah, x squared.
I need opposite signs, Bryce. One positive, one negative. What multiplies to negative 7 but adds to positive 6?
Negative 7 and 1.
Close.
I mean 7 and
7 and negative 1.
negative.
All right, GCF. Mm-hmm.
X. 1.
Close.
Negative 1 to 7.
How about here
X.
and here?
7.
All right, so I got, excuse me, x minus 1, x plus 7. So give me the zeros.
Negative 2, positive 1, negative 7.
Y'all can shut up.